I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. Face on when I chase like that. Yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back. I'ma swing home run like a baseball bat. Gonna see me rise, you can hate on that. I don't play both sides, doing me no cap. I'm a rider.
And the command goes out to fire up. The next pair, up top fuel. Not many times where you can hear from a driver.
That 20-foot length is leveraged to transfer over 10,000 foot-pounds of torque to the rear Goodyear slicks. There is no high-performance car or race car with an internal combustion engine that can outrun or out-accelerate a top-fuel dragster that burns through 1.5 gallons of nitromethane fuel per second. A supercharger that sits on an all-aluminum V8 engine will produce 60 pounds of boost in the course of the 1,000-foot run. And let's take a look at our lineup here for the first round of time.
But Brittany Force has now dragged that car to the starting line 3 times, and 3 times it has gone down the racetrack. Jasmine Salinas goes 415, 213 miles per hour. We are down to 4. That means it's time to race for real for the first time this weekend. In top fuel, took the wind out of the sails here at Pacific Raceways. A track speed record. Narrowly missed the ET record. A couple of thousandths of a second to be the #1 qualifier. He also took home one of those 2 amazing Jasmine Salinas with low ET of the heat this weekend. No dragster had been in the 70s in the heat of the day until now. Steve goes 385, 4, 323. Plenty good run, but a 379.8 for Jasmine Salinas announces her presence in the top fuel field this weekend. And we head down to Joe for the finals of the Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge.
First round of top fuel, and this is a pair that encapsulates the world of NHRA drag racing better than probably anything possibly could. Tony Stewart, a man who was in 6 racing halls of fame, who was a multiple-time NASCAR champion. You know his history. Driving the Direct Connection Dodge Power Brokers Top Fuel Dragster. They have been scuffling a bit this year, trying to move their way up in the standings. And young Jasmine Salinas, a second-generation racer, thrust into the seat of this car when her father experienced medical problems earlier in the year, sits on equal footing, if not better footing, than the man she's racing against.
Coming into this matchup, they have the better car. It's more consistent. They have the performance. It seems more predictable. But when you talk about Tony Stewart, he comes equipped and prepared to win. He can get off the starting line more than likely ahead of Jasmine. He just needs a car underneath him.
Tony smokes the tires, and for the second time this year, Jasmine Salinas will advance to the second round, and she'll do it with panache. 377.7, 330 miles an hour. Jasmine Salinas, another of the cars that Brittany Force must worry about, and Tony's got to get nervous too because he's going backwards in the points.
Well, we talked about it at the top of the show, and this happened to Tony Stewart in the very first qualifying run, and it appears that they're arming up the engine. You have to give this motor some power. You have to take some of the compression out. You have to spin the blower. You have to do all of these things, put some weight on the clutch. That is what is going to accelerate the car. But when you give it too much of any of the above, that car will overpower the racetrack, and that balance initially for the car is most important, that it plants the tire and instantly starts to accelerate, and this team just doesn't have the car that they want to go into the countdown with yet.
You saw Leah Pruitt, who was Tony Stewart's wife. They're expecting their first child. She made it all the way to the end of the season last year. She was involved in the championship.
They hear the engine rev up, they feel the car no longer accelerate, and the good drivers are able to manage the throttle and ease out of it and reapply the throttle by the time the rear tire has actually regained traction. Tony Schumacher does it well.
Some may think you're looking into the eyes of a person who might be intimidated racing a world champion in the form of Doug Coletta. But once you thump Tony Stewart in the first round, nobody might seem that scary, right?
Hey, for Jasmine Salinas, she's been putting the time in. She is so committed, so dedicated. This team is housed out of Brownsburg, Indiana. She spends most of her time there. She's surrounded by a very good, very efficient crew. She just seems so much more comfortable than she was earlier in the year. You can see it in the performance of the car, and you combine that with the performance of the car, and it's just a different driver that has a level of confidence instilled in her.
So both Doug Coletta, the Mac Tools car, and Jasmine have finished their burnouts, and Jordan Vandergriff has a whole lot to tell us about both of these.
Tony, just like you were talking about Jasmine Salinas, she has looked a lot more comfortable lately in this race car, and I think it could be because she ran here in A fuel, so she's familiar with this racetrack. You know, as a rookie, any familiarity helps on any racetrack. And as far as Doug Coletta goes, he set the track record with a 367 at 337 miles per hour. He said he's got to just take it one round at a time.
He does, and the one evolution we've seen really out of both of these drivers, Doug Coletta learned how to be a champion last year. He had been trying for 25 years basically to get to that plane, and he executed. What we have seen out of Jasmine Salinas, and more importantly out of her crew, has been an approach that has taken her really unexpectedly jumping into this car. They did not try to force her ahead of her comfort level early, and what that's done is given her a comfort level now to stand in the ring with Doug Coletta. She is hanging on his bumper down there at the finish line. It's Coletta, 372.9, just barely outrunning a 373.8. Nice job by Doug.
There's so many things that have to happen for Jasmine, and it all starts on the starting line. You can see Rob Flynn, he gave it a shot. They were separated only by 100th of a second in terms of performance, but it was the whole shot, the starting line advantage for Doug Coletta. That's 500ths of a second, and you can see that he had 7 cylinders as that car approached the finish line, so that was, you could subtract about 1,400 horsepower, and he's still a very impressive time. This team laying up, and Jasmine giving it her best.
So we watch Jasmine one more time, Tony.
There's the launch for Jasmine Salinas, and you know, it was a clean run. Look, the tuner did their job. They made the right adjustments for a warmer track, and anytime we say the track is warmer, we know some of the grip goes away. So they made the right adjustments. They just ran up against the wrong car, the wrong track.
Keep dreaming on, time staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on.